Hello again, it's Lock Noob, and wow, what a lock we have today. This was a really bit of a grail lock for me. This is a SEZAM lock. Now, SEZAM, I believe, is the company, not the model, and I don't know what the actual model is. If you know, put it in the comments. I'm sure lots of other people would be really interested to know too. I tried to have a little look, but I couldn't really find anything about what the actual model is, but I'm sure somebody told me once. So that's the most frustrating thing, is that I think somebody told me and I don't remember where to look for it. Anyway, so this is a SEZAM company lock made in Poland sometime during the 1970s or 80s. This is old stock, new in box. So I don't think it's ever been used. It's brand new, just old stock, brand new old stock. And it's just really wonderful. So how does it work? Well, it looks like a normal, rather large mortise cylinder, and with a very, very plain flat key with no warding on it. And it works like normal, but these four dials are combinations. So if I turn this round to, I know, a different number, can't open the lock. And you can just quickly, you know, lock the house, turn these to anything you want, and then whoever is trying to open your door with a lockpick or otherwise would have to turn all of these dials to the correct number, which this is set like factory default to 0. You could probably use a coin or something else if you want to, and then once they're all at 0, key goes in and it'll turn just like normal. Now, can you decode this? So picking it, actually surprisingly easy. We'll go on to that in a minute. We'll give it a pick, but can you decode this? Well, yes, I have seen somebody decode one of these, and the reason you can decode them is, well, let me just drop everything on the floor. Let me just turn one of these to a different number for a minute. So like 2. If you put tension on the lock with the key, you'll notice that these actually have false gates, and this is very stiff. You turn it, you might need to release the key a little bit to turn it to the next one, and it will turn to the next sort of false gate, which is here, and you'll see that that's very stiff. Now, if you look at, say, I'll just turn this one to a different number. If you turn it to 0 up here, and it's got tension on, even though it won't open because this number's wrong, if I turn this, it actually is loose. Can you see the difference there? That I can turn this, and it just feels nice and loose. So there's a lot more sort of looseness to it. So I believe that there is a false gate every other number. So these go up to 10, so there's 5 false gates. So you could be there putting tension on, and this is with the key, by the way. So if you forgot your code, you could do this, is that you basically just go along, have a go, feel stiff. Do you see the key turn? That's a false gate. That just, it moves, but it rubs. So you have to back the key off, turn it to the next one. It should fall into another false gate soon, I think. So we'll go there, see, and the key turns a bit more. Give that a wriggle. It's very stiff. And you keep going round until you need to turn the key back. Once it goes into a false gate, you need to sort of turn the key back to turn this anymore. Otherwise, you probably damage the thing. But when you get to the last number, now just make sure that it is not going to open. You'll see that it goes into what looks like a false gate, but then it's actually got a lot of play in it. It's really nice and loose. So you could decode this. Now, you're also thinking, well, can you show a decoding on camera? And the answer is possibly, if you've got the right lock. And this, you might think, what do you mean? It's because to decode this, you need to pick it in a position where the code isn't the right code. And if you look here, how much little play you have, it's tiny in this lock. Now, I can only pick 3 pins in this 5-pin lock. You can see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pin chambers there. There isn't enough play after you pick the 3rd pin to pick the other 2 pins. And I've tried anti-clockwise and clockwise rotation. I have seen it work though. Some people are able to, with the tolerances in their lock, pick the lock and then test for the true and false gates in here. So it's a shame. Well, is it a shame I can't do it on this? I suppose not. It just means that this one has slightly better tolerances. Cool. How do you change the code? Changing the code is really cool. So you get a little code change thing. and you turn the key just about to the 5 o'clock position, and that's it. That's what you do to basically allow you to then push these. This is a little hook to basically grab hold, and then you can push and pull. So if you put this in, turn it. It's not turn it. You grab it, and then you push it in. Oh, got to get it about right. You got to. It sounds weird, but you've got to get the actual key in the right position, which is there. So it's that that position. But you grab it and push it in, then you can turn it to what you like. So I'm going to turn it to 2, and then that's now the code. So if I turn it back to 0, like you saw, it won't open. I have to turn this one down to round to 2 now, and then the key will work. So it's quite easy to change the code. Just turn the key a little bit, pop this in, push down, turn it, and then you change it back to all zeros. So that's really, really cool. Now, before I throw this in a vice and give it a good picking, please, 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 after this video, go check out a video which I will leave a link for. I hope I remember to do so, by the lockpicking cuber. And he did a video, it's his number 28 video, I believe. And his video on this SEZAM lock is goes into a bit more detail about the history of this lock, and it's really very interesting. So please, please, please go check out his video. It really is very good, and I learned a lot about this lock from that. So yeah, let's throw this in a vice and have a bit of a pick. So here we are in the vice, and the key turns. It's very stiff, but it turns. And what I'm doing is I'm putting 2 turning tools together. One is 0.8, one is 1, so it's going to be a 1.8 millimeter top of the keyway turning tool, and that fits in, well, perfectly, as you can see. And we're going to go in with, I don't know, let's go in with this lunatic and just see what we can feel. So that is pin, I think 6. I think it's, yeah, 6, 5, 4, 3. 3's binding. Lift all the way to get that click. There you go, a little click. Nothing on 6, nothing on 5. 4's binding. Lift that up. Nice click. 3's binding now. No, it's 2, sorry, 2. Might have overset that a little bit. We'll see. Is that 6 binding now? Yes, 6 binding. 6. Nothing on 5. 4. 3. Little click. Anything on 2? Maybe, was that a good click? I think so. Can't feel 1. Let's go back to pin 5. 4. 3. I'm trying to find if there's anything sort of binding left over now. If not, I might just go to like this deep hook instead. Oh yeah, that was 6 a bit further up. It's going along, going along. Not sure if I picked pin 1 yet. There's pin 1 here. That feels set. 2 feels fine. 3, 4. Oh, just hit 4 and yep, there we go. We got the open. So 4 was hung up somewhere in the keyway. So pretty easy lock to pick. And it's quite a stiff lock, to be honest with you. And I've got no idea how I would get in there if I wanted to, which I don't. So yeah, pretty cool lock. Pretty easy to pick, but what an incredible piece of history and engineering. Such a wonderful, wonderful lock. Absolutely love this one. So anyway, yeah, let me know what you think in the comments about this lock or my picking or anything really. I do read all the comments, reply to as many as I can. If you like content like this, want to see more awesome locks, then hit that subscribe if you think I deserve it. Maybe even that notification bell as well. All really helps my channel out, and I very much appreciate it. Otherwise, stay safe, happy picking, and I'll see you all next time.